The Los Angeles Lakers pick did not end up being a top 4 pick. The New Orleans Pelicans held the rights to the pick and with just over a 25% chance of getting a top 4 pick. Laker fans were hoping that luck would go against New Orleans to help ease the sting a bit. If there's one thing the Los Angeles Lakers have prioritized through the initial waves of free agency, getting younger has to top the list. Between Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, and bringing 34-year-old Darren Collison out of retirement, the Lakers' 2021-22 roster was the oldest in the NBA. New Orleans did not get lucky as the Pelicans have, the 8th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, which still is not bad for a team that made the playoffs. The luckiest team of the lottery was the Orlando Magic, who snagged the number 1 overall pick with a 14% chance of doing so. Before going straight to the content, here is the brand new information on the channel is that 3 lucky winners will get a chance to win PS5. Only you have to just comment your views on this trade in the comments section below. Let's start today's topic. None of those players, including Kent Bazemore, DJ Augustine, and Avery Bradley, haven't been offered contracts in free agency. Thus far, the Lakers have signed Lonnie Walker IV, Troy Brown Jr., Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and most recently Thomas Bryant. The combined ages of that player? A youthful 25. There's no denying Rob Pelinka and company have plenty of work remaining, but this influx of youth figures pays big dividends. For LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and, maybe, Russell Westbrook. Some of that remaining work includes addressing Anthony's future. Though Los Angeles might have indirectly revealed their hand in that regard by handing out his iconic number 7 jersey number to Troy Brown Jr., it doesn't seem like the Lakers are planning to bring back Carmelo Anthony this offseason. When you think of Anthony, 2 jersey numbers come to mind. Number 15, which he donned with pride early in his career with the Nuggets. And number 7, which he repped from 2011 to 19 between the Knicks, Thunder, and Rockets. For what it's worth, Anthony sported the rare 00 in Portland before switching back to number 7 with the Lakers last year. Unless the 38-year-old had a sudden change of heart to switch jersey numbers before his 22nd season. Brown Jr. assuming his familiar number 7 tells us all we need to know about his future. Anthony is hard at work preparing for the 2022-23 campaign after. He posted 13.3 points per game on 37.5% shooting from threes last season. He's still a serviceable rotation player capable of catching a heater on any given night in the twilight of his career. But it doesn't appear the NBA's 9th all-time leading scorer fits into the Lakers' evident youth movement this offseason. Anthony scored at least 20 points in 11 games for the Lakers last year, but it's currently unclear what his market looks like. He's been linked with a return to New York, which would admittedly be a fitting place to end his career. But the Knicks are a play-in team at best, and Melo likely wants to pursue a championship. This is an intriguing draft class as several players could go with the 1st overall pick. Jabari Smith Jr. is currently the consensus number 1 prospect in the draft, but Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero could also go 1st overall. Regardless of who it is, the 1st overall pick in 2022 might be destined to join the Lakers in the future. The Orlando Magic have won the 1st overall pick in the lottery 3 times in franchise history. Orlando first won the lottery in 1992 and used that selection to take Shaquille O'Neal, who some would say had a pretty good career. The Magic then won the lottery again in 1993 and took Chris Webber only to trade him to the Golden State Warriors. Penny Hardaway, who was taken 3rd overall. Orlando did not pick 1st overall again until 2004 when they took Dwight Howard. Have essentially taken 2 players with the 1st overall pick, and both of those players ended up joining the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the best Lakers of all time and helped usher in the three-peat with Kobe Bryant. Dwight Howard's first stint with the Lakers did not go well at all. But then he became an important role player on the 2020 championship-winning Lakers. Howard hit the last shot of that season for the Lakers, draining a 3 against the Heat. Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James have been pretty close friends since before entering the NBA. They were the first and third pick of the 2003 draft, and their friendship has only gotten stronger since. Throughout the years, plenty of people thought it was just a matter of time before James and Melo teamed up. They worked out together and even traveled together during their vacations, so it wasn't a far-fetched idea. Anthony has a few options in front of him. At 38 years old, he could call it a career and decide to retire, leaving a very good legacy behind him despite failing in conquering a ring. With an all but assured induction into the Hall of Fame, the acknowledgement as one of the deadliest scorers ever seen, and a place among the 75 greatest players in NBA history. He will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the greats of the game. Carmelo could retire with great dignity, knowing he gave everything he had to basketball and enjoy his life with no regrets whatsoever. As rumors swirled, the New York Knicks would be open to signing the New York native and former leader of the franchise for a farewell season, given his history with the city. He would provide a stabilizing veteran presence for a young team that struggles, as usual, to find his footing in the league and receive the proper recognition, as he wraps up his career in the most representative place. The fact that Carmelo Anthony did not jump at this chance shows he is weighing his post-Lakers options. He has not announced his retirement yet. It seems likely that he will play a final season. And the fact that he has not already joined the Knicks could mean that he is still considering to rejoin LeBron James and the Lakers for a final run to the championship. Melo could very well be waiting to see how the Kyrie Irving saga unfolds, and what kind of team the Lakers will be, and what changes they will have next year. He would be a welcome return for LA. Last season Carmelo was a bright spot for the Lakers, acting as a reliable scorer off the bench, and showing a commitment on the defensive end that he rarely provided through his career. Especially, in this case, the Lakers managed to pull off a trade for super talented but troublemaker Kyrie Irving. They would benefit from a veteran presence like Anthony in the locker room, after they went from the oldest team in the league to sign a bunch of youngsters. Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers of all time, but the lack of playoff success will always hamper his legacy. Notably, winning a ring at this point in his career will mean even more for him. Returning to the Lakers would certainly give him a clear path in that regard, but Brown Jr. taking the team's number 7 jersey all but rules out an LA reunion. Judging by Brown Jr.'s smile, he'd have a difficult time conceding the number to Anthony in the event he's re-signed. If the reshaped Lakers will look competitive to the former All-Star, it is very believable that Carmelo Anthony will wear a purple and gold uniform again next year, trying to get that championship he is sorely missing with the help of his friend LeBron. So what do you think of this trade? Do let us know in the comments section below and get a chance to win a brand new PS5. If you enjoyed watching the video, do like and share, and yes, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you so much.